All right, folks, and we're back with part 2 of David Spector. When we last left him, man, I feel like I can't talk some days. When we last left him, we were talking about September 11th. That's kind of like my topic when I'm phoning it in when I have nothing else to talk about. I can just talk about 9/11.
That's like that Bill Hicks comedy 10 Commandments thing. 9/11 is what you talk about if you have nothing else to say.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so I don't know. We can change the subject a little bit.
Did you talk yet about the Hunter Biden shit that got dropped?
No. Go ahead. Fill me in.
Oh, have you read any of it?
No.
Oh, it's worth looking into. Hunter's so cool, man.
Yeah. I saw there's some fucking lunatic on Facebook, this guy. I mean, I don't want to say his name. I guess he does comedy or he's like comedy adjacent, but he's like a Long Island guy that moved to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what he might have unfriended me. Because he said that there's a video of Hunter Biden raping and torturing minors. And I go, did you see the video? I go, where is it? Did you see it? And I can't pull him up on Facebook now. He might have blocked me. He might have blocked me for asking if a video, because I remember, because he was like, how could anybody vote for Joe Biden? This is sick. There's a video of Hunter raping kids, and the deep state has it. Just
the deep state and you, some schmuck in Florida, have uncovered this.
No, and it's like, send it. Like, I'll watch it if you have it. Send it to me.
Yeah.
All I said was like, did you see it? And then I can't. He must have blocked me. It's really funny.
Yeah. I mean, these are people who are like, I mean, it's politics, but it's something else. Like
it's something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a weird, sad life that you're just going to be like an old Florida, because he shared some other video of like some CNN anchor, and he was like, this fucking evil whore. He's like calling some CNN anchor an evil whore.
Oh my God.
And it's like, what is your life? You're just some fat fuck who lives in Florida, and you can't have that many friends.
No. He's probably losing friends and family members left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wait, what were we talking about before this? Because I have an idea. Because I have something that I want to say. But if we were talking about something else, we can go back to that.
It was we were talking about 9/11. Then I brought up Hunter.
Hunter, yeah. So what's going on with Hunter?
Oh, okay. So there was just the New York Post somehow got his laptop from Rudy Giuliani. Yeah. Giuliani says that the laptop that Hunter just dropped off his laptop with all of these like very personal and some damning like emails and pictures to like a repair store that he forgot to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
And then the repair store guy gave it to Rudy Giuliani, which that's obviously a fake story. But,
right.
And then the Post published them. There's a lot of emails of like, there's some emails of like
Hunter's laptop.
It looks like I don't think they've denied that the emails are true.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying like, they're being unfairly targeted by Russia or whatever, but they've never said like these are false.
Yeah. And
it had his like email address in them.
Mm-hmm.
But, and like there's some emails that do make it look like he was like, abusing his leverage as his dad being vice president to like make business deals. But we all knew that. Like that's not. And then there's just all these pictures of him. He has like
I saw the pictures.
Yeah, with the code, and then him like with the crack pipe in his mouth.
Yeah, cool. He's cool.
Yeah, exactly. He's like the only one of these political kids who's lived anything close to like a life.
Yeah, God killed the right Biden brother. That happened exactly how it. But it was funny because there were texts. That's the thing with the text messages, right?
Yeah.
Because there were texts where they were trying to like own him. Because they did that, and it was like similar to a 30 Rock thing where they were trying to like nab Tracy Jordan, and they found a voicemail of him being like, "Hey baby, I'm a Bed Bath & Beyond. I love you. I can't wait to talk to you." But it was Biden being like, I love you, my sweet beautiful baby boy, because Hunter was like, I'm just a fucked up addict and I'm gonna ruin everything.
Yeah.
And Joe was like, I love you, my sweet my sweet beautiful baby boy. I mean, he has had a rough life. Both that whole family's had a rough life. I mean, Joe's wife and baby were killed in a car accident,
Yeah.
like when they were shopping for Christmas trees.
Yeah.
And then Hunter and Bo got in the accident, and Hunter remembers waking up next to his brother in a hospital room.
Oh my God.
So it was the mom, the baby, they died, and then Hunter and Bo were in the hospital.
Oh my God.
So it's stuff like that, it's stuff like that that makes you kind of go like, that gives you a little bit of, and then I literally just read something that said Biden's not opposed to Amy Coney Barrett, which is so funny. He said she seems like a fine person. It's so funny.
I mean, that's the whole thing about like Biden is they've had a lot of tragedy and they're very empathetic at a human level, but like, it's just that doesn't change like, what he's gonna do politically or whatever.
Right,
But
right.
it's what are you gonna do? You got two options.
The other thing about Hunter Biden is that he always felt like Obama and Obama's staff never respected Joe. Which is really funny that you're the vice president of the United States and you get treated like shit by Dan Pfeiffer, by the fucking Pod Save America guys.
The Pod Save Johns. I mean, they probably do look in a weird way. They look down on like Joe Biden because he's not some fucking like what they think of themselves as these like tech savvy millennial liberals who know everything.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
Then
yeah, Joe's still like riding the train up from Delaware, and they just have so much contempt for him. He's like, can you do me a favor? How do I convert a photo to a PDF? And they're like, ugh. They just roll their eyes. And like you, and he can just feel their resentment.
Yeah. I mean, he's like trying to tell a story about how his dad took him to a lemonade stand once in Scranton, and the Pod Save John sort of like, shut up, dude.
Yeah.
We gotta put out these memes.
Yeah. That's really it's like wild to think about that though, that like, because Obama was like this cool, hip, young, exciting president, and in effort to reach out, he picks Biden. Like, I don't know who else he could have picked at that point. Who else was? I don't know who was. It
would have been Biden or Hillary Clinton.
You think Biden or Hillary?
Yeah, because like she came in second to him.
Isn't that so funny that you just have to, like, Hillary Clinton's like she's like the autistic kid in the neighborhood that like you have to invite to your party. Like, you just have to include her. She's just been around forever. She's like the weird kid that like rubs his snot everywhere, and they're like, well, it would be rude to not invite Jeremy.
Yeah.
Because she ran for president when she was a senator, and then it's like, well, you have to give her a cabinet position, and then it's like, well, we have to let her be president because she was Secretary of State. It's like she's always, I don't know. I mean, not that I don't want to like be too harsh on some people. I think are too harsh on Hillary, but it's just kind of like she's always kind of like weaseled her way into stuff, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That's like we have to let her in.
Yeah. I mean, she's gone now. Now it's like, I mean, she's not, I guess she's like still has power behind the scenes, but I don't know what, it's like Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Amy Coney Barrett. They're in charge.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know what? He just confirms her as an act of unity. And then he kicks Sotomayor off the court. He just has her jailed, just as an act of unity to Republicans. That was so annoying today. When I don't want this episode to be too politically heavy. I'm just going to say one more thing about politics, and then I want to talk about sort of the social aspect of politics, which I want to get your opinion on.
Sure.
Because I was talking to Deb about this morning.
Mm-hmm.
But fuck, dude, I just forgot what I was going to say. What are we talking about? Hillary,
Uh,
Amy
we're
Coney
t-
Barrett, Sotomayor.
you're
Dude, I'm
putting so.
dying. I'm
Hello?
but yeah,
Uh,
hello? No, I'm still
yeah, I hear.
here. I'm still here. I just wanted to say I guess it'll come if it's important it'll come back to me.
Can I say one? I think I
Please.
texted you this, but could I say? So I was talking to like a Trump dude who
Mhm.
lives upstate,
Yeah.
and like before I could even say hello, he launched into like an hour long like speech about why Trump is the greatest president of all time.
Mhm.
And in the middle of that speech, out of like nowhere, he says Tom Hanks renounced his American citizenship and is a Greek citizen now. And I like
I thought you
didn't
said
follow up like
Brazil. I thought you said Brazil.
I think it was one of it was
Okay.
I think it was
Yeah, okay.
Greece, but it could
Okay.
be Brazil.
All
Maybe
right.
that is what I said.
Okay.
But
Not important.
yeah, and I like didn't ask him what the fuck he meant by that, but I looked it up. My girlfriend looked it up later, and apparently QAnon believes that Tom Hanks renounced his American citizenship and became a Greek citizen because in Greece pedophilia is
It's
considered
legal.
a disability.
Dis-
Not only is it legal, you're a privileged
yeah.
class.
I heard somebody I heard somebody else talk about that. I mean that's really I've heard this on a couple other podcasts, but that's really funny.
Oh, I didn't know. I guess that was bigger than I realized, but it's just like it's. I mean, credit where it's due. That's the funniest thing I've
No,
ever
yeah,
heard.
Greek Disney World is like there's a special line for like the elderly and pedophiles. you get to you get to go on the ride early. You get to go you get to go from the back and board it from the back, and everyone's like, "Hey, why does he?" And they're like, "Oh, okay. Oh, I can tell from that members only jacket and the ponytail and the mustache." um, yeah. There's a comic Barry Rothbard who had a bit where he was like, when I was a kid, I wore a members only jacket and I wore glasses and I had a ponytail. He's like, so as a kid, I was a pedophile. I don't know what happened to that guy, but funny guy. All right, so this is what I want to ask you about because
Yeah,
everybody's talking about that Tiffany Trump speech.
I haven't heard about this.
So Tiffany Trump gave some she gave some speech somewhere, and she was standing behind a pride flag,
Mm-hmm.
and so people don't know much about Tiffany Trump, and people sort of
Yeah.
think that she's like out of the mix, but
Mm-hmm.
she's not. She's like as dumb as Eric, and she's as much of a slut as Barron is. No, I'm just kidding. But so she gave some speech, but people are like talking about the speech. You can look it up on Twitter. But I asked Deb this morning. I was like, because I was playing it, and I was like, Deb, who do you think like Tiffany Trump's friends are?
Mm.
And it's this very weird thing because Deb and I have talked about this a couple times, and I don't think we're really on the same page about this. But it's got to be
Mm-hmm.
weird to be one of the Trump kids to be Don Jr., Eric, or Ivanka, or Tiffany. I guess Don Jr. because Ivanka works in the White House, but Don Jr. and
Yeah.
Eric and Tiffany,
Mm.
and it's like, part of being successful is the social aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like part of it is like getting into nice clubs and like not having to wait for a table at a restaurant. Like, I guess even going to SNL after parties and like
Mm.
smoking weed with Pete Davidson. And they don't get to do
Um.
any of that because everybody fucking hates them.
Yeah.
So it's this weird thing. It's like who are their friends? Like who do they hang out with? Because
Well,
Don,
I think that's temporary though. I think like once he's out of the White House,
Mhm.
like I think they were in like Chelsea Clinton and Ivanka were really good friends.
they were.
Yeah, I saw this headline that was like Chelsea Clinton says she will never become like rekindle her friendship with Ivanka Trump.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, so you guys were friends up until what?
Yeah.
Like if I think they're all like at the top friends with each other.
Yeah. But like Don Jr. goes on Nick DiPaolo's podcast. Like that's his fun day. That's the hour
Yeah.
where he gets to blow off steam and like be himself and hang out with kind of a celebrity.
Yeah.
And it's like as funny as Nick DiPaolo is, it's like it just seems like a very like that life seems like a big drag. And I feel like them and also Trump supporters definitely feel like they're missing out on something.
Yes. I agree with that 100%. And I do think you're right that like the Trump kids are probably like miserable that
Yeah.
like and no disrespect to Nick DiPaolo, but in Trump Jr.'s head, he would probably prefer to be hosting SNL. He would love to be in that world.
He would yeah, he would love to be accepted. And that's the thing too, like SNL, right? Like it sucks and it's lame and the sketches aren't a lot of times they're
Mm,
not very funny, but it is like an institution.
mm,
And I have been to a handful of SNL after parties, and like
mm-hmm.
they're really not that fun, but it does feel cool that you can go.
Yeah.
Like they're not fun, and you have to pay for your own food and drinks,
Mm-hmm.
and it's still very much like it kind of feels like work, you know?
Oh, that it's a paid bar. Are you serious?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they
Um.
have like Prince and and like
Yeah.
and
Just
like
taking out his debit card to pay for his fucking chicken fingers. I mean, you would think, but I guess like a lot of people end up showing up to these things, you know. So
mm,
it's like I guess you can't pick up the tab every, or I don't know, maybe they. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the bills.
I would if I were at an SNL after party, I would go to the bar myself
Yeah,
and be like, I'm on Leonardo DiCaprio's tab.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
covering this round.
yeah. I think I would too. Take it up with my best friend Leonardo DiCaprio. Um, yeah, but it's this weird thing where I feel like Trump supporters probably feel that way too, where they go like, you know, like Hollywood elite, but it's like if you got invited to George Clooney's house, you would be really excited
Yeah, totally. I think that's where a
because
lot
we're
of
all lonely
the
people.
yeah.
You think that's where a lot of the animus like comes from?
Yes, I
Yeah,
think so for sure. They feel like they it's a weird like it's a weird double bind because they feel
yeah,
locked out of the culture,
yeah.
but they also do everything they can to reject it. Like they don't
Right.
want to be they don't really want to be included in that world. They want that world to become more like them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they
And
want
it's never going
everybody
to.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. They want everyone to wear camo
yeah.
head to toe.
Well, it's this weird
They
thing too. It's like okay, you got your 4 bedroom house in a cul-de-sac, and you have your boat, and you have your big Trump flag, and now
yeah,
everybody fucking hates you. Your
yeah,
neighbors hate you. You don't get any respect.
your
You go
family.
on Twitter and express your opinions, and people start yelling at you
Mm.
that you're a piece of shit. You know, I think it's very weird. But sorry, were you saying something?
Oh no, I was just saying like I think a lot of these people also and like it's my theory about why QAnon is so big is
Mm-hmm.
that they have family members who won't talk to them anymore.
Yeah.
And like their kids won't talk to them. And it's like they drove their kids away with their bullshit, but then they're
Mm-hmm.
just like they're filled with anger, but
Mm-hmm.
they can never reconcile it.
Yeah. Yeah, that part of it is very interesting to me. And also like but the other side of that coin is that there is a resistance to that smugness. Like I've seen people say stuff like, in New York, like in New York, Donald Trump was a joke. We used to laugh at him. And then like
Mm.
I've seen people be like, "Yeah, he's just a piece of trash from Queens." You know? And it's like
Ex-
but people feel like they're that piece of trash from like people feel like
yes.
elites feel that about them.
Oh yeah. I mean,
And
that's the thing. Whenever somebody tweets like the thing Donald Trump's biggest supporters don't understand is that he hates them. And it's like, yeah, but what is that tweet? Because you hate them too. You're basically saying
yeah.
these moron pieces of shit don't
Yeah.
realize that they're moron pieces of shit. It's like,
He
yeah,
hates
well,
them, but you know what? At the same time, like he kind of loves them too, because everyone else has abandoned him.
yeah, and he panders to them at least.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
think there is kind of a genuine connection there. Like I think that
Mm,
like he can still fly to Tulsa or like
mm.
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and people come out to see him. I mean, that's something.
Yeah, it's like all he wants is like constant like love and adulation.
But that's
Like he
that's what
need
everybody wants.
yes, yeah. And
Everybody
all
wants to
they
feel
want
included and stuff. And yeah,
yeah, and all they want is like a president who like whatever bullshit they care too much about, he
hmm
also cares too much about.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
normally Republicans wouldn't get on stage and talk about like what the fuck are they mad about right
Well,
now?
it was
Like,
a great example of this is when after the Oscars happened,
mm.
and Trump was like, what's the deal with this Korean movie winning Best Picture? And it's like, that's not even, honestly, dude, that's not even something that my fucking parents would say. My
Yeah.
mom is probably, as much of, as sometimes I think my mom is very backwards, my mom has probably seen Parasite and thought it was pretty good, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, that is such a backwards, outdated thing, but to hear the president say that and reflect your shitty views,
Mm.
it's very... that's a very strong. I think if you're a shitty person like that, that's a very strong connection to
Oh
feel with
yeah.
him, because it's like, yeah, exactly. You know,
Yeah,
to have somebody validate that.
especially when, like, I mean, politics isn't really making anybody's lives better. So all
Mm-hmm.
you have are like, all right, this person kind of reinforces my whole deal,
Mm-hmm.
or that person reinforces my whole deal.
Yeah.
And I hate that person's like vibe, but I love this you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, in a way, that's like when, you know,
Everybody feels like an underdog,
yes.
and
Everybody feels like an underdog, and they want their personality to
even
be reflected.
even the president, even the president of the United States and his kids feel like they're an underdog
Yeah.
because they
I
don't
think
get
the
invited to SNL after parties. And they had to
Can
do
you
they have to
imagine?
do some rationalization to be like, oh, the reason I'm not here is because these people are elites and they fuck
There's a
kids.
Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine if like Don Jr. were in some form of therapy and he's just like talking about that?
Uh huh.
He's just like so upset. He's like, I could only get on certain podcasts. I want to get on the
Yeah.
bigger podcasts.
Yeah. I want to do History of Hyenas and they won't have me on. Actually, they probably would have him on. But yeah, what are the podcasts that he's like dying to do? I mean, he probably wants to do like, I don't even know.
I bet you. I
He's
mean,
probably a big Chris
obviously.
Hardwick fan,
Oh my God.
you know?
I
Cuz he's like a
I think
dork.
I think odds are his big dream would be to get on Rogan,
Mhm.
and I think
Yeah,
like
yeah, 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 for sure.
I
Rogan
think
probably would have him on though. I mean, maybe, I don't know. But also there's nothing special or remarkable about Don Jr.
no, there's
He
nothing.
sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, he's such a poser. He
He's
has
a poser.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
mean, at
just
least his
is.
dad has the balls to be $400 million in debt. I mean, it's pretty cool that he's $400 million in debt. He's not even ashamed. And I think it's been that way like forever, because there was a documentary that came out like years ago about like rich kids. And
Mm,
Ivanka was like, one time my dad saw a homeless person on the street and he goes, you see that homeless guy? That guy has $3 billion more than me, because he was like in debt,
yeah.
you know? But it's just always been like that. It's not like, oh, I took a loss this year.
No, I think like it's like an accounting trick where
Uh-huh.
if you are in debt as much as you make, you never have to pay taxes. So
Oh,
like,
okay.
so it's like, yeah, he's $400 million in debt, but that
Uh-huh.
also means it's not like he doesn't have money in his bank account. It just means that
Right.
like when he fills out his taxes, he can say he's at a net zero.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Man, there are so many basic terms that I don't know. Net zero. I feel like such a dumb guy. Anyway,
I think I might be making that term up. I wouldn't
yeah.
just try to sound smart.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Good to talk, Mike.
All right. You take care.
Have a
Um
good one, dude.
yep. That's our show for so I guess that'll be our show for Monday, everybody. So we'll see you tomorrow, and take care. But David, stay on the line.
Cool.
We're going to have a little secret show after the show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.